Okay, guys, today's objective is for you to create your own letterhead stationery. So, what is letterhead? Basically, letterhead is where you have a piece of paper that you're going to type a letter on, but it has its own heading and sometimes a bottom in the paper. So it's already there. It's used by different businesses and organizations to communicate a message and relay contact information. So it would actually be used like when you get a letter from the school. And when you do that, if you notice that letter will be on letterhead where it will have the school's name. It may also have the school's symbol. So it has something on there that will have the address and telephone number and a fax number and sometimes an email of the person that is sending it. So that's what we're going to do today. And the way that we're going to do it is create our own by starting off with a blank 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, just a regular sheet of paper. We're going to click on that particular icon. And then what happens is you get creative. So you get to go into your insert tab and actually use the borders and accents. And when you click, you can basically see the different borders. You can do a frame, which basically frames the paper. You can do where you just have bars, which basically you will put the bars in and decide how you want them to go. There is, if you click on the more button, there are other things that you can use where you could possibly have a box if you wanted something different, and you can change the different colors up. So for this activity, I may go ahead and use, let's see, I'm going to take it and just have an open border. So I clicked on it. Let's see, because that's the one that I'm wanting to use. And basically, when I double clicked on it, it will show up on my paper. I'm going to basically pull it out a little bit more, okay, because this becomes like the design or the decoration, if you want to say, for my paper. Then, what I'm going to also do is put a text box so that I could basically, and I can do it where the text box that I'm going to use is going to basically be where I'm putting the title of my company. So, for example, yesterday I showed you guys or the day before, a business card. So, I am going to now create my letterhead for my business card. Okay. So I may possibly want to have my petals in the wind. And of course, I do want to keep it consistent. So I would actually go back and look at the colors or make sure that I'm using the right color scheme because I want to make sure that all of my documents, if it's for the same business, is using the same color scheme. So that is something that as we move along that you do want to keep in mind is making sure that you have the same color scheme throughout your um, document. So I'm going to just go ahead and do petals in the wind. I'm going to click OK. Once again, it's going to come up. I will then, because this is my company's name, I'm going to bring it up here. And which means that I got to make sure that it fits just right, that it doesn't look too awkward. If it looks awkward, then I would just kind of change that pattern. So I've got my company's name. Then what I'm going to do is draw a text box. And down below in this text box that I'm drawing is going to be where I put my company's address information. Okay. So I don't really quite remember, but I would put 321 um, Flower Lane, and that's going to be in Sunnyvale, California. And I've got to make sure that I put my absolute correct zip code. Then I am putting like some spaces in there. And then I'm also going to put my phone number in there, making sure that you have the zip code and a full phone number written correctly. And for this one, I may actually also put in my company's email. Okay. And like I said, I'm just kind of separating these with, and let me make my screen bigger so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. So I've kind of just have it like this. And my email, I'm just going to put petals in the wind at gmail.com. And being that my text box goes all the way across, I want to center this information. Okay. And then if I wanted to, I could go ahead and insert a picture so that I could have possibly a small little picture. And what you probably want to do first is if we put this picture holder here, that way your picture will go exactly in it. So what I did was in insert, I clicked on picture holder. Then that little icon is going to show up. I'm going to say where I want it from, which is on the internet. I'm going to go ahead and type flowers. I'm going to pick a flower. Insert it so it'll go in my little box. And basically, this picture holder is only going to be the part that showed. So I can move my picture in to get it just perfect. And then basically, I'm going to move it down to be aligned in with my address as well. Okay. And yes, I am making my picture more, sizing it so that most of my picture will fit inside of that picture box. Okay. And then I'm going to keep reducing the size of the box because it's like I just want it to be kind of like a stamp, so to say, or like my logo. Okay. So with this, I am just sizing it, trying to get it just right, trying to make sure that my address is just right. I can move the box down. And then what I could do is move my address box a little bit further in so that it all will fit. Now, if I wanted to change the color of my border, what I would actually do is click on my border and go into the drawing tools. Then I would actually be able to click on the shape fill and select a different color to make sure that it goes along with my scheme. Happy